Are we there live? I've tried 3 times to go live and it kept saying it was trying to go live. So if you guys are there, say hello. I see that it says live on my end, but I can't see if anybody's here. So I'm just gonna burn some Palo Santos, clear the energy, soothe the energy. Plus I love the smell of it. Y'all say hello when you pop on. Wait for some of you guys to get on here, because I'm not talking to an empty room. I hope that it is going live though, because the internet might be a little bit shaky. The wind is blowing out there tonight. Some of the power lines. Oh, I see you. Okay, Andrew, I see you now. I just wanted to make sure that I had actually gone on live because it was having like a little glitch and it kept saying that it was trying to start the broadcast. So happy to see that you are there. Thank you for tuning in. Excited to see you guys tonight. Impromptu video share this evening. And you know, I always dream about like having these gatherings where people just sit around and have conversations about things that matter, you know, and it's not always practical or feasible to get us all in the same location physically, you know, but it is so possible for us all to like open our phone and come and hang out together. And that's really, hey Matt, that's one of the things that, you know, means the most to me. And I've been really fortunate to have manifested circles that I'm in of women and, you know, men too, where there's conversation about things that matter, about, you know, having an impact and living life authentically, which we're going to talk about tonight. And I just feel so honored to be in those spaces. And also, I know that part of my calling, if you will, part of my purpose in this earth, part of my soul's passion is absolutely to create these spaces, not to be the leader, so to speak, but to open up space to, you know, open up dialogue where we can have conversations that matter. Because what I do know is that we all have stories to tell. And we all have gifts to share that will touch somebody. And what I also know, like we're going to share about tonight, talk about tonight, it's not your job to connect with everybody. And the more that you try to do that, the more that you're not connecting with anybody, including yourself. You know, it's a blessing and an honor to live life authentically, because then what happens is you start attracting to you people who literally see you for who you are and celebrate you for who you are. And it's been a scary road for me, you know, even right before the video, authentically, like, let's just talk about living authentically. We're just going to dive in. Hey, Andrew. Hey, Andrew. Life without glitches is no fun. Right. They're like little fireworks, little sparkles. You see my fairy lights in the back? Like I love that. So I'm gonna put that in my memory bank. Hey Matt, I see you on too. Good to see you. So, you know, for me, living life authentically, I don't really know what I thought it was gonna be or what it should look like. But there was a part of me that did believe that all of my relationships would be, you know, really smooth sailing and hunky-dory and, you know, just easy peasy and things like that, that when I'm living my life authentically, everyone's going to be happy for me and everyone's just really going to celebrate me because I'm, you know, in my power and in my authenticity. And that doesn't happen. That's not, it's not saying that that can't happen, that that's not a part of it, but it's not the totality of it. And if we sit and wait on those criterias to be met before we show up authentically, we're just going to sit and hide. And that's what a lot of the time I've been doing. And I realize like I have these beautiful moments with spirit, and I meditate, and I have these what I call downloads, and I write them and I think about them and I contemplate them. And there's a part that has been urging me, go live, open up a dialogue, have conversation, connect with your tribe. Like this is where we're at in 2023. Like it or not, we're connecting like this. And, you know, we're moving to in-person as well. And why we're doing this matters. Like you can actually open up your social media and have conversations that matter with people who you feel resonance with when they speak. And so that's part of the thing that I know that I'm here to do. And I haven't wanted to do it, quite frankly, you know, because I look at my life and I think there are so many things that I feel like, you know, I'm still juggling and balancing and wanting to manifest things differently. And also, I'm not really living authentically. I'm not embodying what I teach about self-love and authenticity if I don't allow myself to show up and share and fumble my words and, you know, whatever. It's not about the perfection of, you know, logistics and aesthetics and all of these things. It's about the purity of your message and your soul and your heart and what you're here to share. And that's, you know, that's such an important thing. I feel like it's so undervalued, the importance of living authenticity, living your life authentically. And so I would like to hear, like, for you guys, is there any, like, preconceived notions or beliefs? Like when you hear somebody say, you know, I appreciate living authentically, or I want to live authentically. Like, what does that mean to you? What do you hear when you say that? You know, because I think that's part of it too. Everyone has different vibes of what they think a certain thing means, you know, what that's going to look like. Living authentically to me, you know, now looks like I am honoring what is best for me at all times. I am honoring where I'm at all times. And I am communicating with myself and the people that are around me that are impacted by my energy. Hey, this is where I'm at. You know what I mean? And that's why it's so important to build these communities, to build, you know, your connections with people who you can be seen with, you can be supported with, you know, because contrary to popular belief, living your life authentically doesn't mean you're going to be just, you know, skipping through the daisies with the butterflies and, you know, the fairies 24/7. That's not reality. No matter how much you meditate, no matter how much you fast, no matter how much you do yoga, that is not reality. Reality of this life includes contrast, and you get to be powerful in that. And living your life authentically will create contrast. It will. And if you think that it won't, you're going to shrink. You're going to shrink. And you're going to keep trying to be a little puppet on a little string and just, you know, be this way for this one and this way for that one. And now I'm going to work and I got to be this. And now I'm going here and I got to be that. And I understand wearing different hats, you know. And also you get to be true and authentic to who you are, where you are. Hey, Joshua. So I just want to give a shout out to Joshua because he just joined on, and he's been helping me understand my human design. And if you haven't heard about human design and you're on this Facebook Live, please reach out to me or go on your Google and just, Matt, I know we've talked about it before. Andrew, I don't know if you know about human design or not, but I've been learning a lot about that, and I'm going to have to do a whole nother video because part of that, you know, part of my human design is literally I learn and experience life through messing stuff up, effing stuff up, you know what I mean? And I have not wanted to step forward and lead because of that, because I know that I'm human. I'm going to mess up, and probably more than most other leaders. And I've seen leaders like get persecuted, you know what I mean, for being human and making mistakes. And I was like, I don't want no part of that. Just like, leave me alone over here. I'll impact those I come into contact with on a daily basis, and that'll be that. But when you are literally designed to do certain things, and we all have our place in this universe, the puzzle of the universe, we all have a piece in it. You know what I mean? And if you've ever tried to build a puzzle and put like, it's like this piece looks like it should go. It looks like it should go, but it doesn't go. It doesn't fit, you know? And you have your perfect place, your perfect piece in this universe. And, you know, I hadn't wanted to accept that. My piece looks like, you know, I get to mess up and do things wrong 10 times so that I can get it right on the 11th time, so that I can come and tell you, hey, all of those things do not work. This is what works. You know what I mean? Ask me how I know. And I want to see what Andrew said before I keep yapping on. Living authentically, in my view, means boundaries that are to be respected and upheld through negative and positive experiences. I learned more, I don't know what that, when I boxed, by getting my ass handed to me, then by winning easily. Okay, so you boxed, Andrew. You said you learned more by getting your ass handed to you than you did by winning easily. That's beautiful. And that fits perfect with, hey Dave, that fits perfect with my 3-5 profile too. Yeah, there is, they say you've never like made a good sailor on calm seas, or calm seas never made a good sailor, you know, so there is something to be said, you know, for that. But I think like living authentically has more to do with honoring you than it does pleasing people. And as a culture, as a whole, you know, like collective, we have been programmed to please people. You know, be a good girl, be a good boy, you know, be nice, do this, do that. Oh, you shouldn't do that. You should do this. Like, we have been programmed on how to be. And unfortunately, nobody was telling us, you know, what does your heart say? What do you feel like is the right thing to do? What would you say to little Johnny, you know, after you hit him? You know what I mean? Like, we don't give children that opportunity. You know, we've been taught this is what you do. And so here we are as adults still trying to operate, and this is what you do. And we're like, this is not working. You know what I mean? There's a shirt that is around, it says adulting, and then it has like 5 stars, but only one of them is colored in. And so it's like adulting, 1 star. And then under that it said would not recommend. And I just think that is hilarious, you know, because we've been taught and trained out of our authenticity. Period. No matter where you've, you know, come from, no matter who your parents were, very, very few, if any of us, were given the green light to be ourselves. It was always trying to be curbed or subdued in some type of way. And here we are, adults, you know, figuring that out. And what I will say is that there are always going to be feelings that you have as a human, whether you express them or not. And the more that you talk to people and the more that you hear other people's stories and shares, you will realize how connected we really all are. You know what I mean? The names will be different. The faces will be different. You know, the circumstances won't be exactly the same, but in other people's share, you will be able to hear something for yourself. And that's one of the reasons why I feel like this is so absolutely powerful and vital, that we, you know, do open up conversations for people to share. What did you say, Andrew? I had a bloody nose, a black eye. It was beautiful. Oh, but it did teach me how to train harder. Well, that is, you know, that is a good perspective, Andrew. And I appreciate you sharing that with me. I've never boxed, but I have seen it, and I know that, you know, there is a lot of training that goes involved, and that is involved in that. And so, yeah, we're all training. I feel like I've been in a spiritual boxing, match, you know. I've been in those. I know what those are like. Andrew said, we've been brainwashed by thousands of years of traditions and billions of dollars worth of advertising that have been directed at us from day one. Yeah, and not just out there in the house, you know, in the house, our parents, our guardians, you know, whoever was in charge of us as kids, you know, they mean well, they love us, you know, they don't want us to repeat the things that they struggled with, you know, so they guide us on the way that they think that it should go, you know, and that's not always the case. That's, you know, your mom might want you to be a doctor, and you want to be a boxer. You know, folks think that you should go to Ivy League school and you just want to be a traveling artist. Like, everybody gets to be who they want to be. And I feel like that is an important piece for us to recognize. I would love to hear some of y'all's shares. Like, do you have any shares of when you have shown up authentically and it really turned out for you? Like, you took a chance to be like, you know what, I'm gonna make a choice to do this for myself, and I'm gonna, you know, just maybe disappoint some people in the process, you know, and have a celebration about that. Because sometimes it's not always, you know, oh, people don't like that I'm being authentic. There are celebrations to be had, you know. For me, I'll share while you think about your story. I have a celebration about what it's like to live authentic and how it matters that you do that. I was just recently a part of a powerful summit of women that was just, it was so amazing. And it went on for like 11 days, 12 days. It was a lot of days, and there were a lot of calls each day. And I made a commitment to myself. Nobody asked me to, nobody told me to. I just made a commitment to myself. I was like, you know what? I'm going to show up live every single day on those calls. And I'm going to celebrate these women, and I'm going to support these women. And I'm going to really, you know, take in the knowledge that they're sharing, because there's a reason why I'm hearing their story, you know? And so I just made a commitment to do that. And, you know, I had different invites to do certain things that would mean a lot to me, like a few of them with the family, you know? And I'm like, I had made a commitment to do this thing. I made that commitment to myself, you know what I mean? And I got to stand in that authentic commitment to myself and share, you know, like, hey, I would love to come. I would really love to be there. And also, like, I've made a commitment to myself that I'm going to be in this, you know, this program, this summit. And, you know, I really want to honor that. And I will look forward to connecting with you. Do you have any availability next week or the week after that? And I did get a little bit of pushback from some family, like, oh, can't you just listen, or can't you watch the replay? And I was like, well, yeah, I could. And also I choose not to. I choose to watch it live, because that's, you know, the promise that I made to myself, and that's the commitment that I made to myself. So I want to honor that, you know what I mean? And then I got a beautiful surprise in the mail from the ladies, the company Alpha Femme. You'll see that on my page. I got a beautiful gift in the mail, and a journal and a handwritten note. And it was just, it meant the world to me, because it was literally just celebrating me for showing up and being supportive. And it felt like so good to be, you know, celebrated in that authenticity, you know? And I know that there's a lot of, you know, fear that can come up around, you know, really standing up and showing up and being yourself. And also, you know that there are people who want to hear your story. Absolutely. And there are people who will be impacted by your share. And it's okay to feel nervous. It's okay to, you know, not feel like you have all your ducks in a row. You still have a story to share. You still matter. And this is where humanity really can be effective, is just sitting with each other and sharing and having conversations about things that matter. And it's not always going to be a walk in the park when you choose to stand in your authenticity. People might not like it, and that gets to be okay. As long as you know that you are operating from a place of pure love and honorable intentions in your sharing and what you're doing in your life, your actions, your motives, your intentions, then you're good. And you walk in that, and you be who God created you to be. You be who the universe created you to be. What is that stirring in your heart? Because nobody else can tell you that, you know? I can't tell you what's right for you. You know, I'm very intuitive. I sit with people. I hear them share what's going on for them, and I feel and I can give feedback straight from the divine. I'm a channel. I do that. And also, I would never tell any client, this is what you should do. I would never do that, because you know what's right in your heart and in your soul, what's for you. Not your mom, not your dad, not your preacher, not your coach. You know. And all of the other voices and the stories and the things that we, you know, allow ourselves to have energetic connection with, they just remind us of what we already know. And sometimes they remind us of what we used to believe, but we know isn't true anymore. It's not true for us anymore. And you get to grow and you get to evolve. And who you are authentically 5 years ago is going to be different than who you are authentically today. And that is called growth. And that's a beautiful thing. So know that that's all, you're always in a place of growth and expansion. You're always allowed to reconsider and reformulate, you know, and readjust. Anything that you see in your life doesn't line up with love and your most authentic self, you get to readjust that, you know, and that's the beauty. That's the beauty of creating the life that you want, is you do get to readjust, you know. And so yeah, I wanted to just come on and share. I know some of you had to pop off, Andrew. All right, I'll see you later. Give the dogs an extra hug for me. I miss my sassy girls so much. Have a good night with the doggies. I love animals, especially dogs and cats. But dogs have a special place in my heart, you know, for sure. So I'm going to jump off, guys. You catch the replay, feel free to comment. Let me know that you caught the replay. If you have any questions or concerns or celebrations about what it is to live life authentically for you, please drop them in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. All right, you guys have a wonderful evening. Bye.